welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're discussing a company called Hycroft Mining Holding Corporation. The stock ticker is HYMC. Stock is up 25% after hours. And we're going to talk about what is causing the stock to surge like this, and also talk about their financials. And if we're looking to invest in the stock, does it, do we consider this as a long-term, short-term, maybe hold it for a couple of days and then sell it like a swing trade? So, before I get into the video, if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. What I do is I generally go over different items, financials and indicators on the chart, and trying to determine what's going to be the play for tomorrow. So, if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. So let's get into the video. So they had an earning calls in the evening, and the earning calls was positive. And 10Qs, usually the only problem I have is with 10Qs is that 10Qs are not vetted. They're not audited. So when they, file their 10Qs for the quarter, generally it's like it could be just made up numbers. Nobody's going to audit that. You could just, put a positive number on it and essentially say, hey, listen, we're doing great, and sort of draw in more investors eventually. But then 10K is actually what you're looking for. 10K is audited. It's like if you put that we made $100 million, 10K will tell you that, okay, whether they made $100 million or not. So that's what I usually, if I'm looking at a long-term investment, I usually tend to go for 10Ks, not 10Qs. But anyway, so they came up with the 10Q. It's pretty positive, as again, is not audited, so we don't know, but there, it seems like it's pushing the stock up. Okay, as far as the company, market cap is about 275 million. It's not a very large company. It's a relatively small company. On a 52-week range, the lowest it got to is 28 cents. The highest they were at, in 52 weeks. That's a lot of weeks, and it's $4.37. So generally, the range is not that. Is usually between that, and that's where we're gonna find the play, right? The volume on an average, they do trade. It's a lot of volume. This is a good thing, right? Volume, you're going to have a lot of volume. You don't want a stock with a very low volume. It's because, if you have a stock that is not trading very much, it's going to be hard for you to sell the stock, right? So you need a large volume stock to be able to trade back and forth if you need it to, right? EPS is negative 1.4, which means they are not profitable at this point from the last 10K they've filed. And open, today they open at around $1.39. They closed at $1.46, but we'll see what the stock is right now. So let's move forward with the balance sheet, right? Total assets they have, everything's by thousand. So 140,000 times 1,000 becomes 142 million. Total liabilities are about 210 million, which is a lot greater. Which means that stockholders' equity is about negative 68 million. So the balance sheet, it's better than 2019, not better than 2020, 2021. It's again, not a profitable company. Operating cash flow, same story here, is negative 37 million, which means their operations is not successful in terms of making the money. And investing cash flow is like how much, expenses they have is about negative 6 million. And -5 million. Financing cash flow is usually is how much stocks they have offered and things like that, how much money they have raised, and if they have purchased something or paid some debt, for example, with securities, like that would consider that coming down, right? So right now their financing cash flow is also negative 5 million, but they had a cash flow trailing from 2019 to 2020 and 2021. Now the end position is 46 million they have on hand. Ownership from the institutional banks is about 25%, 85% to be exact. And there are about 26 firms have sold out. 26 firms, bought new shares, 864,000. And 23 of the firms actually sold out of the positions and 3.4 million. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky because, as you know, right, economy, the market, everything is just right now, it's like very uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty going on right now, right? So I've seen different stocks, even the good stocks, for example, getting sold out because the fact that, investors are finding better plays and they're not going to put their money on a play that's not going to make them immediate money. And generally but this company doesn't look that great either. Like, it's a small company, should be a short-term play, in my opinion, at this point. This is a short flow. Short float is about 5.53%, which means that it's not, very high. It's a good thing. Off exchange short flows are usually that dark pool volume, which is what the institutional banks are trading. Their short interest is 47%, which probably would be some of the scenarios right here. That's right, short term. Probably this is probably institutional banks, getting their dollar on just to lure in investors. But the good thing is you got to be smart to play them, because otherwise you'll never be able to invest if you're not going to understand how you could play the trends, right? So let's look at the trend line right here, right? So the resistance I have is $2.57. Now, these indicators are very helpful because they tell you whether you should get in or get out, right? Like, should you invest in it or shouldn't you not? So as far as the volume is a very important factor in all the indicators, right? If you see a stock that's going up, for example, you got to know how much volume is being traded. If you have a stock that's going up and it's only traded, like, for example, like, I don't know, 100,000 stocks, and that stock generally trades in millions, that's not going to sustain. It's not going to sustain that. So let's look at the volume, how much volume is being traded right now. So, okay, there's a line here. Let me remove this quickly. Hold on one second. Let me get rid of the charts. Okay. 643,000 stocks traded in this 1 hour window. Next hour, 885. That's about 1.4 million. That's a lot of volume. Okay, that's a lot of volume being traded right now. So I'm anticipating the way this is going. Our size is around 81.70, which is mean the stock is being overbought at this point. MACD is moving average conversion diversion, which is way above the signal line, which is also a good indicator. The histogram is 0.035. Really good indicator, because what happens with histogram is this is, again, moving averages, conversion diversion, right? So when it comes down in a flow. So to give you an example, for example, you see how the histogram went up. When it came down, it took it time to come down. It didn't just turn red. It just sort of diminishes in a way. So it's really high right now. So if it would come down, it will come down, in a sequence like this. That's how usually histogram works. And again, volume is great. MACD, the exponential moving average, has crossed over 48 period. It looks like it's going to cross over 200 period as well. So I think, if everything holds true, and, by the end, this after market finishes and pre-market, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe you'll see some red candles. But if it happens to be picking up tomorrow, just check on whatever brokerage app you're using before 9:30 and see how this aftermarket is holding up. If it's still holding up, there is a resistance at $2.57. If it does cross that resistance, it could potentially go to, again, $3 or so. But it will be crucial for it to get to that resistance. If it does get to that resistance, it will get, there's going to be a lot of limit order kicking in, so it's going to get rejected. So at that point, I don't think it's going to sustain that, momentum. It might come down after it hit that resistance, but hitting that resistance will be crucial. But if you happen to catch it before that, I'm going to be watching this stock tomorrow as well. So add it to your watch list. It's up 26% now. When we started the video, it was 27% now. So it is. There's a lot of volume being traded right now. So just, there's a lot of short interest from offshore. There's a lot of short interest from off exchange, OTC. These guys, dark pool, institutional people. So just be careful with the short interest stuff. But again, very good to be added to your watch list. And we'll see if we can make some dollar on this. So that's my quick video for today. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, please, if you're not subscribed, do consider subscribing. Keeps me motivated. Make sure I bring these videos to you every day. And then, let's grow together and build our wealth. Talk to you guys in the next video.